Hi guys, this is Mia from Mimo Design Laser Files, and I'm back with a follow-up, you might say, on my unpacking video of my Creality Falcon 22W that was sponsored to me by Creality. I have been waiting patiently on my honeycomb and the enclosure to arrive, so this puppy has just been sitting here until I received the honeycomb and enclosure yesterday. So today I'm making a new video to show you how to set this guy up. I have no knowledge about diode lasers. I have two larger CO2 lasers, 80 watt and 100 watt gantry. So this is new territory for me. But it seemed like it was pretty easy, so I have a laser module that should just snap right on. I have an air pump that also should be easy to just attach, and a plug for electricity, a power plug. So let's see if I can do this. I would usually get my husband to do stuff like this for me, but I'm on my own today. So I'll show you how to do it. If you're interested in getting one of these, I dropped my affiliate link down in the description, as well as a discount code. But let's get started. If you're curious about my location here, it's because I couldn't find space in my workspace indoors, so I'm currently in our outdoor kitchen. So I'll be installing this and I'll move it to a permanent spot later on. In my unpacking video, I showed you my excitement about this extra piece of what I thought was a sample. It's not a sample, it's actually to prevent the laser from cutting through the table. But it did come with an operation guide. Please assemble the machine, tutorials in the user manual, and TF card. The TF cards I did check, and there's a lot of info on these, but I will just go ahead and use the quick guide. And I did skim it through, but that's pretty much it. So let's see if I can find a page that's English. And let's see, assemble instructions. Install 4 risers. I did that when I unpacked. These are easy, they just screw right on. Blah, 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 blah. Let's see. Okay, air pump, which is this one. So I want to remove this, and I have a tube, pressed tube, silicone tube over the nozzle, done. And this one I want to attach on this side. I'll just swap sides. And it says air pump over here, so that's great. Also it has a button where you can turn the air up and down on the side, which is pretty neat. So that's done. Attach the laser module. And I thought that should just slide in. I might have to loosen these. Did I forget something? I probably didn't loosen these enough. There you go. So this will probably adjust the height as well. So I need to adjust this later on to find my focus point. If this is anything close to the CO2 lasers I have. And this wire is going to be attached where? Oh yeah. Let's see. I figured it out. It's because this one is actually loose inside here. So I need to swap these out. And I can lift these. So placed under these clamps. And it goes inside here. There you go. So what do I do with this one? That's probably going to be placed down here. And I can then use these Velcro strips to tie these two up. I am a blonde, so that's maybe why I didn't see this earlier. But I think that's it. So I'll just move over back to you and let's see the next page. Okay, so I figured that out. Now I actually just have to place my honeycomb. I will attach the power cord. But let's just place the comb. So the honeycomb also comes with the steel plate that I'm going to place underneath it, because that will prevent the laser from burning down to the table. And I don't think my husband would be very satisfied about me doing that. So peel off the plastic, and it still has plastic on the other side, but I don't really worry about that. So I'll place it here, and I might have to lift this a little. And I don't know, it has these corner protectors on the honeycomb. I actually think I'll leave these on. I think it was, no I can't, they're too big. I'll remove them. Yeah, it now fits perfectly. But I was thinking that the corner pieces would be great to protect it a little and maybe lift it a little from the underlaying protection. I have to read up if I have to remove those or not. I'll go ahead and set this to power. So I have a power cord. And it should just snap right into the adapter like this. I'll pull it over, we'll plug it in, and I now have power on this, so let's make a little more cold. And power is on this side. So let's try and press start, and nothing happens. Okay, so I just pushed up the start button. I actually think I'm ready to go. Okay, so installing was really easy. I didn't expect it to be this easy, actually. Honest opinion, it took around 10 minutes to get this assembled and fired up. So I need to add some software to it. I use LightBurn. I've been designing LightBurn for the past 3 years, so it comes natural to me. But there are other possibilities for software as well if you don't want LightBurn. I do recommend LightBurn, and I'm not affiliated with them, but I'll drop the link below on where to download that as well. I can show you the download process because I already have it, but I can show you how to add a new machine to the software. A couple of things that I failed to mention that I also love about this machine is the air assist noise. I'll just fire it up and listen to this noise. That's how noisy it is compared to my 80 watt CO2 that sounds like this. This is absolutely nothing compared to the CO2. Also, I love that it's running right now and it knows that I'm not working, so in a moment this will turn off and you don't have to listen to the air assist. That's genius. Also, these 3 indicators, you can see that this is now blinking red, and that's because the air assist turned off. As soon as I move it, which is also a great thing, let's see if I can find it from here. I think this might be the error. You can see that it will turn up again. So that's awesome. I really love this machine. And as soon as you start it, the air assist will turn on again. But let's turn it off for now, and I'll show you how to add LightBurn to it. Oh, I probably have to turn it on again, because with your sample pack you also have a USB cable. So you want to pick that, and you have a slot, and it's actually both for what do you call this, mini USB and actual USB. So the mini goes in here, and also it contains these flash drives that also comes with an adapter. So if you are using a MacBook, you could use the adapter in the other end. I'm using a Windows operated laptop. I do have a MacBook, but I don't use it. I can't get used to it. So I will use my Asus, which is falling apart and so old, but that's how it is. And once you have the USB plugged in, you have to turn on the machine again. But I'll see if I can get the air assist to turn off before I tell you the rest. Okay, so my air assist is now off, and I want to show you how to add your laser into LightBurn. If you have LightBurn already, you want to open it. I have a lot of windows opened already, so I'll just tap the logo again. If you double click it, you can have more than one window open. If you don't have LightBurn, you have to install it, and it will guide you through whatever steps you need. But if you have LightBurn, you go to devices, and you can see my 80 watt CO2 right here. So what I want to do is click find my laser, and it will tell me that I have to make sure my device is connected via USB. It is, so I'll just hit next, and my laser should go on. It did. And there's my laser. So I'm sorry for the noise of the air assist, it will turn on. But I'll just click add device, and I'll rename this to Creality Falcon 22W. The X-axis and Y-axis is already pre-entered. So I'll just have to check if it's correct, and I assume it is. So I'll just hit next. And then I want to pick where my origin of the laser should be. Right now mine is positioned in the front left corner, so that's just where I'll keep it. I do want to toggle off this auto home, because when my job is finished, I don't want it to go back to the front left corner every time, but that's optional. So I'll hit next, and I'm actually done. So I'll press finish, and you now see my 80 watt and my Falcon here. So I'll click the Falcon and hit OK, and you might see how my workspace just changed because it's less than the 80 watt. So I'm actually ready to add some files and do some cutting. So what I'll do, I already added the USB that I got with the machine. So let's see if we can find it. There it is. And in this you have a user manual, operation videos, sample files, software, recommended parameters, which I do recommend that you take a look at, because these parameters, I'll just have to change this. It's PDF files with parameters for 12 watt, 22 watt and 40 watt lasers. And you want to use those to find the correct settings, or at least a guiding point to where you want to make your settings. But let's go back and let's take the sample files. So it's still a 22 watt that I have, and I want the engrave and cut file. So I'll pick the LightBurn version, and up came this little guy. So right now he is 13 by 10 centimeters, so I'll downscale him just a little, like that. And you want to check your settings. So this is an image engraving, and they already pre-entered 100 in speed and 40 in power. They turned off my air assist, and I also do that on my other lasers, because when I'm engraving the laser beam, if you have air turned on, the laser beam could slightly be blown away by the air assist, and then your engraving could come out of focus. I know that some do engrave with air assist on, and that's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with it. I just think my results are better if I turn it off. So Creality obviously thinks the same. For cutting, they have this blue line, and they set the speed to 11.7 and power to 100. So I'll just keep it as the settings that they are suggesting and see how it turns out. I might go in afterwards and do a cut test, material test, to see where my settings will be the best. But let's see if we can cut and engrave this guy. And if you hit the preview up here, you can also see how much time estimated it will take. So this will estimate take 7 minutes and 41 seconds. I will speed up the entire engraving process so you don't have to watch it. But let's get him sent to the laser. So you do have a few options on how you can transfer your file from your computer to the laser. I'm still using the USB cable because that's what I'm used to from my 80-watt laser. So what I want to do, because I can't use the frame button here, if I do, it will just beep. If I had a USB inside the machine instead, it would use the USB to take data, and I could use the frame option on the machine. But you have a frame option in LightBurn as well. Let's see if I can find you. There you are. So if I hit this one, you can see that it will frame where my material will go. So one thing I still want to make sure of is that my focal height is set to the right position. So again, I'll take this tool, focal distance tool that came with the machine. And again, this is the focal length for 1 to 3 millimeter, 4 to 6, and above 6. So I'll just place it under here, and it doesn't slide under. Sometimes these honeycomb beds can be a little warped, and also the material. So make sure to always use your focal distance tool before cutting. So I think mine is right here. And again, I'll hit my frame button. And that's where my engraving will go. So let's try that and see what happens. Okay, so my little guy is now done, and it was a perfect cut, but the engraving was very deep, so I could definitely lower the power or increase my speed to make it less deep in the engraving. Also, you might have noticed how much smoke came up while it was engraving. First of all, I haven't attached my enclosure yet because I am in my outdoors kitchen, so it doesn't really matter for me if there is smoke. But if I was doing this inside, I would definitely recommend that you set up the enclosure and take that hose out of a window or something like that, because it does smell when you're burning and cutting through wood. But this is the little guy, so I'll read a little up on the parameters on this laser and see if I can come up with a better result. Also, I'm doing some grid tests to find my golden settings, because no matter what laser you have, these settings will vary depending from laser to laser. So it might only be 1% or something like that, but the settings can vary. So please make sure that you always do a test card of some sort for cutting and engraving on various material, and then you can find your golden settings and find out what works better for you. So I'll primarily be using my machine for cutting acrylic, I've got a ton of acrylic sheets, also from Creality Falcon, in both clear, opaque, and solid, I think they're called. So I'll primarily be using mine for acrylic. Also, I really want to test out engraving colored steel, because I saw that it's possible with this diode laser. So that's something that I find really intriguing. So I'll get back to you once I have some more tutorials, but I hope you enjoyed this one. And if you did, please subscribe to my channel and please give it a like. And I'll make sure to work on some more specific tutorials on how to make projects with the Falcon, and also maybe even create some files and tools specifically for this machine. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.